Hello everybody, this is Daniel. Making some food, so I figured I got time. Why not make a video? There's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. The first one deals with negative emotion, particularly those prolonged ones that just don't seem to go away. What do we do about those? How do we deal with it? Well, I have my own theories, and for the most part they worked pretty good, so I figured I'd share them with you today. The first thing you have to consider when it comes to the self is we actually have three minds when you get down to it. We have the conscious mind, which is the logic, the name, phone number, address, stuff like that. You have the emotional mind, that's how we feel and how we connect to the world around us. And then you have the physical mind, one that's often overlooked. There's evidence of a physical mind in a couple different things. Two simple examples: evolution and martial arts. So when you're dealing with negative emotion and you're, all this stuff, it affects all three of them. So if you want to get past this trauma, you need to address all three of them. Now, I can't tell you what's necessarily going to work for you because we all have to find our own way of dealing with this. So I'll break basically what I do down. First, I'm logically very dominant. That's just what I chose to be. So I'll use things like poetry. If I got like a strong emotion kind of stirring in the background, not really coming up to the surface, but enough to distract me, I'll begin writing. And through that writing, I'll create walls and boundaries to define what that feeling is, what that issue is. And one of the ways I design my writings to do is to have an ending, to wrap it up, to create another wall to block it in. So I now have this emotion locked down. This is what it is. This is what is bugging me. This is why it's bugging me. I know it's not an attack out of the dark. Now it can be addressed. For the emotional mind, because just understanding it doesn't deal with the emotion behind it. A common thing I do there, music. I'll sing karaoke. Yeah. And through that, I can express these emotions. You can only really do this once you understand and logically lock it down. Otherwise, it's like chasing a shadow. Cooking, so I had to check my food. So I'll sing sometimes something mournful, sad. Sometimes I'll sing something angry. Some songs will be like Snuff by Slipknot, where you're expressing something, the frustration of a pain. Other times I'll go with songs that have more of a scream value to them, where you're just like, just letting that anger out. It's beyond words at this point. You got to do something with it. But you got to find something that connects to your emotion, and you use that to channel that out. So you give it an escape, an outlet. Now, for the physical mind, I work out, like the song says, right? You need to do something to speak in the language of the mind you're trying to address. For me, that's working out. For some people, it could be cardio, it could be martial arts, it could be just going for a walk, it could be physically fixing something. Like if a drawer is busted, you physically fix it. You find a physical way to fix the things that are struggling from within, right? Now comes the next phase. You've dealt with the trauma itself. You had something that was just taking a place inside of you. It was building up to the point you didn't have room for anything else in your life. Now you got a hole inside because you pushed it out. You need to fill it up. You need to find something better to take that place. And again, you need to address all three minds here. That's why it's important. Every day, you want to learn something. I don't care if it's, what direction the screwdriver goes toward the screw. I don't care how simple or complex it is. Learn something every day. You got to feel something every day. That could be going and petting your pets or something I like to do. I like to watch babies laugh. There's something about a young child's laugh that just amuses me. It entertains me. It makes me feel better because it fills a part in myself that I don't have in my life. It fills a role, if you will. Physically, that could just be how you feel after the workout. Try to eat healthier, try to feel better. Don't just work out and hurt yourself in the process. Work out in a healthy way to make yourself stronger, more flexible, feel better. Drink water. So that effort is not just a punishment. It's a gift to yourself. If you don't fill up all three areas, that negativity is going to work its way back in. And it's going to corrupt and it's going to drive into the other ones. Some simple examples of how it can do that. Consciously. When you're consciously being infected, you can't focus, you can't think straight. Things don't make sense. Emotionally, you're upset, you're stressed, you're frustrated, you're lashing out. Physically, you have physical tension, physical pain. Mobility is down, it hurts to move. These are all the same things, just in a different mind. You need to remember that. You need to know that. Then remember it, kind of details. And you need to address it. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk to you about today, let me check the time. Okay, I got time. Is pretty much every generation, has a defining aspect on the world. And that could be something direct via them, such as, the meme about millennials and their work ethic. That doesn't, imply all of them, but that generation definitely had a negative impact on, the people's work. And, the amount of effort they're willing to put into it. Anyway, like I said, that's an example. The one I think going on now isn't so much the generation itself, but a sign of the times. And something that we need to address. And that is crippling loneliness. Between technology taking over interaction. Everybody looks at a screen, not at another person. You don't get from a screen what you get from another person. You don't act towards a screen as you act to another person, and we lose ourselves because of that. The sense of self isn't defined just within the self, but within the context of what's around you. That's what makes you who you are. You are not the only thing there. You're a byproduct of the world around you and the way you react and interpret it. So we have all the technological aspects of it that are alienate. Then we had COVID hit. And now we had to isolate ourselves. We became more and more dependent on that very technology, which was harmful in the first place. You can see the desperation and loneliness in the way people act online. The way they lash out, the way they cry, the way they reach, knowing they're not going to reach anybody because they're reaching towards a screen. We need to learn how to connect, and I don't mean digitally or electronically or financially or economically or any of that shit. We need to learn how to connect to each other. We've lost that. Honestly, I don't know if we will, because we've gone pretty far down the rabbit hole there. But that crippling loneliness is killing us. It's killing us in ourselves. It's killing us within the family structure. It's killing us with our friends. It's killing society. You can see the differences in society because people only see themselves at this point. They don't see other people. They see screens. They see names and windows they close when they're no longer convenient. You don't do that to a person, but you do it to a screen. And people have become the screen. Anyway, I guess that was more of a PSA thing, huh? So those are the things I wanted to cover today. Make of it what you will. Hope you have a good day. Later.